Hey y'all, it's Kelly here. Come along with me as we take a walk through my pantry, and I'm going to go over some of the things that I will not be storing long term anymore, and I'll explain to you why, so maybe you can learn through the mistakes that I've made. Now come along, let's go. Thank you for stopping by. Today I thought I'd take a moment to talk to you about things that I will no longer be storing in my long-term pantry. I know that people in the preparedness community talk about a lot of the things they do store in their long-term food storage, but I'm going to talk to you today about the things that I will not be storing again for the long term. Things I will not be storing again is things that my family doesn't like. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but think about all the panic purchases that we've made when we've watched the news and heard about shortages, and you got to get these now. It's happened to all of us. We've all lived through 2020. We know how it works. So there may have been times where we impulsed bought something that perhaps we didn't realistically think out on, will I really eat this in the amount of time that this will stay fresh? Now, I am the first person that will say I don't pay a lot of attention to expiration dates or best by dates. I've done a short video before on the difference between those dates and how they're guidelines, and it's a way to track goods if there's a recall and just a way to keep inventory. But I have found personally that I've been able to eat things that are years past their best by date with no problems. In fact, I've got some shelf-stable milk sitting in my long-term pantry that expired more than a year ago that we still use today. If you're panic purchasing, or let's say something's on sale, you might not like it, but you might be saying to yourself, well, it's on sale, therefore I'm going to buy it because I can purchase quite a bit of it and I'll learn to like it, or I'll just doctor it up and my family will eat it or will grow to like it. That's not a good reason to put something in your long-term storage. Believe me, I'm learning that the hard way. I've got a couple of daughters who I've mentioned before on my channel are vegetarians. So when I was trying to put things away for them to eat so they wouldn't get food fatigue eating the same thing over and over again, and I have shelf-stable tofu, textured soy protein, and I do use these on occasion, but not near as frequently as I thought I would. So, just keep that in mind when you are purchasing things. Don't just buy it in bulk because something's on sale if your family doesn't necessarily eat that. Don't just think, oh, I'll learn to like this. I mean, if your family doesn't eat it, don't buy it. Don't buy something just so you have a variety. Yes, you should have a variety of food so you don't get burnt out. But truthfully, if your family just likes 5 different things, stock up on those 5 different things. But be realistic about it, and we're going to talk about shelf life of some of these things. The first thing that I will not be storing for long-term storage is egg noodles. Obviously, they have egg in them. Instant pastas like Knorr pasta sides that has the seasoning already added. And a lot of these rice dishes, pasta dishes, brown rice, it doesn't store as long. It has oils in them that will go rancid. Now, there are ways to make this last a little longer. And when I say I'm not going to put it in my long-term storage, I think you can get a couple of 2-3 good years of shelf life out of them, but I do highly recommend that you repackage some of these things. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. As you can see behind me here, I bought these bins at the Dollar Tree. They were not in the $1.25 section, but on that aisle where it's a little bit more. I think I got these for $3 each, and they're airtight, so I can store my pastas in them and not have to worry about rodents or bugs or any kind of creepy crawlies getting in there. But also, your climate has a lot to do with your ability to store things long term. I would say if you live in a dry area, you might can store things a little bit longer than those who live in a humid climate. when you dehydrate your own foods, that's a whole process in itself. If you're new to dehydrating, you need to make sure that your food is all the way dry. You need to do that test where you put it in a jar, let it sit for a day, shake it, look and make sure that all the moisture content has been removed from it. But things with egg or oils in them, pastas, rices, I would not store those in long term. I've got the plain pastas up there. I know I need to repackage these. These are my instant pastas, my pastaronis, mac and cheeses. I stored a bunch of these because they were cheap. It's not realistic. If I was to count these, there's probably like 50 boxes, and that's just this row. Then as you go down, we've got rice-a-roni, nor pasta sides, Tex-Mata rice, and then I've got risotto. Those are okay, stored in their airtight container, but you want to watch out for those little eggs that get in your rice, your flour, your grains, like your oatmeal. Freezing it first for a couple of days just to make sure you kill off any of the larvae. I've got all these different pastaronis. I used to love the shells and white cheddar. I haven't eaten any of these in months. Let's just say we eat 1 box of these a month. Look how many we've got up there. Now they may last, and I will probably need to repackage them. It's not ideal because now I'm trying to watch my sodium. I'm trying to eat better. And I think, honestly, my family just kind of got burnt out with your grains, your rice, pasta, that if they've got oils in them that can go rancid and make your food go bad, I would not be storing those long term. Next, I want to talk to you about seeds and nuts. And I would say if you keep these in their original package on the shelf, they probably will get you about 6 months, maybe a year. Again, depending on your climate, how you're storing them. You might can get longer if you put these in the freezer. So as you can see, I have a wide variety of different nuts. I've got pecans, walnuts, pistachios, cashews, some natural almonds. I've got some chestnuts that I got from the Asian market the other day. The smokehouse, kind of smoky flavored almonds. And so these are all just kind of the bare ones that don't really have any added seasonings. And I use them to bake with. I put them in my smoothies, on my salad. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I put some pecans just to give a little crunch to my salads. Or I'll put them in different food dishes, like whenever I make Asian food, I'll put some crumbled up peanuts or cashews. Over here, this basket right here, these are kind of my my seasoned nuts, if you will. These are so good. If you've got an H-E-B near you, you have to try these banana bread pecans. Skinny dipped almonds. They come in different flavors. They've got a lemon, a mint chocolate. This one right here is the chocolate peanut butter. These pistachios are barbecue flavored. Some churro flavored. Vanilla birthday cake, pistachios. The reason I've got these separate is because they're flavored, and I think those probably would go rancid even faster. These toasted coconut cashews, can already tell if you look at the bottom of it. I'm kind of cringing to open this. Let's see when its Best By date was. I don't even see the Best By date, which is kind of frightening. So I'm going to open this. It kind of looks like it's bulging a little bit. I hope that's just my imagination. Okay. But they've been in here easily past their 6-month mark. Okay, they kind of feel a little, I don't know, they just feel a little bit moist, I guess. They don't, let me see. If I get sick, y'all know what happened. They're still good. I did just open them. So yeah, like I said, I've tasted them before when they were fresher, and I don't know. They're still edible. I'm gonna eat them as nuts and seeds. Just don't recommend storing long term. The next thing that I recommend that you don't store in your long term prepper storage pantry are crackers. I don't consider myself to have a whole lot of crackers. Now I do Really like these crackers. Garlic and chive. You'll have bad breath for days, but believe me, they're worth it. These come from Aldi. They were on sale. I did get a few boxes of those. I'm not really eating crackers as regularly as I once was. These are my buffalo wing pretzel Ritz crackers, chicken and a biscuit, pepper jack crisps. They're kind of like that moon cheese. Anything that's got flavoring on them, like here's the cheddar jalapeno goldfish crackers. You're gonna want to watch that and not store that in your long-term pantry. Crackers will go rancid faster. They've got flour in them. They've got oils. Let's talk about cereal, especially these sugary cereals that you see up here, and anything with oats, flour, different sugars. They're just not going to last as long. Now, I think you have a better chance of keeping this more long-term if you repackage it like I did in this airtight container. I also froze it. I know that flour and rice, I think you're supposed to put in your freezer to kind of kill off any of the bugs. But I think you're supposed to do that with oatmeal as well. I use it in baking. I use it in my smoothies. One of my daughters used to be addicted to oatmeal, and she ate it like every day. She liked the flavored ones. Where are they? The strawberries and cream, the peaches and cream. She just kind of came to a dead halt. Now, I know people will say, well, if you're hungry enough, you'll eat anything. And that is very much true. And thankfully, we aren't in a situation where we have to make that choice. So right now, if we're burnt out on something, we're not going to eat it. Yeah, you might be buying things thinking, oh, I'll like this forever, but you might not. And you don't want it to go bad. So just keep that in mind. The granola bars, oatmeal, the Pop-Tart. I think these were more impulse buys for me. Lar bars. I love these things, but I just kind of slowed down on eating them. I'm just not eating them that fast. So granola bars here by Sunbelt. This is the key lime pie. It's seasonal. This one and the lemon meringue pie. Absolutely delicious, but I don't think it's humanly possible for me to eat these as quick as they need to be eaten to not go bad. I've got like 4 or 5 boxes of the key lime, and same with the lemon meringue. When you start the long-term pantry storage, you need to kind of just give some thought, like how many members are in your family, are they willing to eat these, and how often, and therefore how many do you need to put away. It's just not realistic to try to put away like 5 years worth of these, because we don't eat these fast enough to justify having that many of them. Now, I will say that I have been blessed with the ability to give a lot of food away to people in my community, so therefore it doesn't go to waste. I'm definitely not going to be one of those food hoarders that just hangs on to food even though I don't really see myself eating it. I'm going to find somebody who will, so I am very blessed there. I've been able to pass different food items along to people who are going through difficult seasons in their life. Cereal, granola bars, you know, these pastry type things, something to not store long term. Another thing you're going to want to consider not having just an abundance of in your pantry, unless you're planning on eating it before it goes bad, is peanut butter. This is a regret I don't have, actually. This right here is a case of peanut butter. I think it has, I don't know, however many come in a case, like 24 jars. I had mentioned before that I did some volunteer work at a peanut butter factory where they make peanut butter for the homeless, and then we were able to keep a jar for each shift that we worked, and they sold the peanut butter to us at a very reduced price. Peanut butter is very expensive, so I was able to get the natural peanut butter for $1.50. Peanut butter does have a lot of oil in it. Our family will blow right through this, so we can easily go through one of these a week. So I've got all these little odds and ends, like I've got the Biscoff butter, this peanut butter powder. I put this in my smoothies and in my coffee, actually, as a creamer. I love peanut butter coffee. This is a white chocolate butter, a speculoos cookie butter that's like those little waffle cookies that you get on the plane. Like I got the cinnamon bun spread from Trader Joe's. I really need to start considering using these up, to be honest. But you see the theme here with the peanut butter. It's got oil in it, natural oil, but it will go rancid faster, so just keep that in mind. I love me some Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. And then I've never tried this cheddar garlic from Zatarain's, but I do like that brand. And then back there, you can see I've got some pizza kit and all that. Now, these are okay to have in your short-term storage, but because they have lard and seasonings and preservatives and, you know, different ingredients like that that are going to cause it to spoil faster, I would not recommend storing those long-term. I also don't recommend that you store too many tomato products unless you're going to go through them. As you can see down there, I know it's kind of dark here in the pantry. There are 4 cases of these tomato cans that I got from the Dollar Tree. And why did I buy them? Because they were organic, and these were going for like $6 a can at the grocery store, that particular brand. And so that's just an example of me buying something because I knew it was a really good deal. So I've got all kinds of tomatoes. I've got tomato sauces, like these individual serving tomato paste in a tube, the squeeze pizza. The thing about tomatoes and why you don't want to store these long term is because they will go rancid because of the acid that is in there. And I will say the same thing about pineapples as well. When you're storing canned fruit, be very careful of the things that have high acid content. I know I've talked before about storing dehydrated food. Now, dehydrated and freeze-dried, those are two different things, but even these manufactured dehydrated goods, you want to be careful because, I mean, you can't keep the moisture away forever. You can get yourself a year or so out of the dehydrated fruits and vegetables, but you're not really going to get much longer, so I wouldn't go too far past. Now, I do have some things in here that are dehydrated, and then so I've got some things that are freeze-dried. Let me find an example of something that's dehydrated. Banana chips might be dehydrated. I don't know if those are freeze-dried. Sweet potato. Oh, wow. See, I didn't even know I had that. And I went and bought some of these at Costco. So, good to know that I have that. Sometimes it pays to just go check your inventory. Make sure that you're rotating through things. This mango, this is not freeze-dried. This, because you can tell it's pliable and chewy. So just be cautious on your dehydrated things. Don't be misled into thinking that you're going to get a lot of time out of the dehydrated fruits. The freeze-dried, you'll be okay. Just make sure that it says freeze-dried. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then your trail mixes. Be careful because again, it's got fruit in there that could go rancid. Next, you want to make sure that you are being cautious with the types of oil that you're storing for long term. Things that are oil-based, salad dressings, marinades, like these ranch dips here. Be very cautious of storing those long term. When I was talking about the pastas and I was saying things that have little seasoning packets, they're not going to last very long term. So you want to keep an eye on the best by dates for that. You'll want to repackage these. Don't do like I'm doing. I haven't gotten around to repackaging these yet, but I don't know about these particular potatoes. I think these dehydrated Hungry Jack hash brown potatoes, these might be okay, but there is a brand that says in the ingredients that it has oil in it. So obviously those are going to go more rancid quicker. Buy what you like. Don't try to buy whatever everybody else is telling you to buy. Like, oh, you must stock up on these items now. I've fallen into that trap myself. So get what you and your family will eat. If you don't like something, or you have certain dietary restrictions, don't buy it. And just make sure that you're rotating through your goods. From someone who's been there, who has acted on impulse, who has bought things because they were on sale, who has bought things thinking I could change my family's mind and make them eat something that they really just aren't interested in eating. And again, if we did get into a situation where push comes to shove and we are forced to eat in certain foods, then that will be different, but that's not the case right now. Right now, we still want fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, things that we can go to the store and buy daily when we want. So just make sure that you are rotating through your items. I hope you found this information helpful in some way. If so, if you could please just show me a little bit of love and give me a like, a thumbs up, maybe subscribe or hit that bell for the notifications so when I upload something you'll see it. Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for sticking around this long. I hope y'all have a blessed day and I'll see you next time. Bye y'all.